Some anime villains exist just to get beaten. They show up, they talk big, and they lose. Nobody remembers their name. Nobody cared.
Have you heard the news? Arlong sank another human pirate ship!
But then there are the other kind. The kind that make you pause the episode and just sit there because something just happened that you didn't think was possible.
He's changing. Krillin, go on! Get out of here!
Not all anime evil is equal, and today we're ranking it. 7 levels from the embarrassing to the actually terrifying. Let's get into it. The lowest form of anime villainy. These are the villains that exist purely to fill an arc. You know the type. No backstory, no real motivation, just a threat that the writers needed for the next 6 episodes before the real story picks back up.
Curse that bitch! Slow your roll, champ!
Garlic Jr. from Dragon Ball Z, Hody Jones from One Piece, the filler arc villain that you watched on a Tuesday and forgot by Thursday.
It's over, Garlic Jr.
The thing about level 1 villains is that they're not even enjoyable to hate. They don't earn your contempt, they just exist to take up space. Their entire character summary fits in one sentence. He wants power, and he's mean about it. That's it. Even worse, the hero never really sweats against them. It's not a battle, it's a formality. Level 1 villains have no permanent impact on the story, no impact on the hero's growth. They are canon events that don't matter.
Hail Garlic Jr.! Hail Garlic Jr.!
Drop your worst level 1 villain in the comments, because we all have that one arc we just survived. Level 2, the Pretender. Level 2 is where it gets embarrassing in a different way. Level 2 villains actually have ambition. They have a plan, a goal, a vision for the world. The problem is, they just don't have the capability to pull it off. These are the villains who are dangerous on paper and completely non-threatening in practice.
I'ma break your butt.
They build armies, they form alliances, they give long speeches about destiny and power, and then they get dismantled in a fight that lasts about 1 episode. The defining trait of the level 2 villain. They rely entirely on other people to be scary for them. Take away their underlings, their connections, their position, and you have someone who's just angry and unqualified. What makes them watchable, though, is how delusional they are. They genuinely believe they deserve to win. That commitment to delusion is at least entertaining, even if it ends in humiliation every single time. Level 3, the System.
When I found out you had escaped from the government, it nearly froze my blood.
Level 3 is where things shift, because level 3 villains aren't just individually evil, they're structurally evil. These are the villains who use institutions, governments, and entire power structures as weapons. Akainu, Danzo, the nobles of the world government. You can't just beat them in a fight, because the fight isn't the point. They have armies, laws, and legitimacy on their side.
But yours is still a far cry from Itachi's, with his masterful Tsukuyomi.
What makes level 3 so disturbing? They're not breaking the rules. They are the rules. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This type of villain maps directly onto real structures of power, which is why they tend to hit differently. When you're old enough to understand them.
Oh well, I suppose it's all over now.
You bastards!
A level 3 villain doesn't need to be strong. They just need to be protected, and that is arguably more dangerous than raw strength.
Did you really think you could get away from me? Why don't you save yourself some trouble and let me kill you?
Level 1 through 3 are all villains you can conceptually deal with. Expose them, overpower them, dismantle their systems. There's a path.
This family crap again? Listen to yourselves. You act brave now.
But levels 4, 5, 6, and 7, the path stops being obvious. Stick with me. Level 4, the Ideologue.
Oh, I see. That is noble of you. That would be justice.
Level 4 is the most dangerous entry on this list, for a reason that has nothing to do with power. Level 4 villains have a point.
First, I'm gonna kill you! And then, I'm gonna bring peace to the ninja world!
Pain, Nagata Uzumaki, watched his parents die in a war he had no part in, watched his best friend bleed out in front of him, and concluded rationally that the world is a cycle of pain, that only overwhelming pain can break.
Yore!
Is he wrong about the cycle? Not entirely. Is his solution insane? Obviously. That's the trap of the level 4 villain. You understand the wound. You just can't follow them into what they became because of it. Shigaraki, young Gaara, Eren in the later arcs, all level 4 material, all walking case studies in what happens when legitimate pain is met with nothing but more pain. These villains don't want to destroy the world for fun. They want to destroy a world that destroyed them first.
Your eyes are still as they were in the past. Like you, revenge was once my reason for living.
And that right there is why level 4 hits harder than anything above it on a writing level. Level 5, the God among men.
Victor should speak of how the world should be, rather than how the world currently operates.
Level 5 is where raw intellectual terror begins. These villains don't fight you.
This ugly little sucker! Hazashiri!
Hosokimaru! Fujikujaku!
They already won 3 years before you showed up.
Aizen Way. Lifted by who?
Me. Captain Kiraku?
Sosuke Aizen is the textbook level 5. Not because of his Reiatsu, not because of Kyoka Suigetsu, but because he turned 100 years into a single move. Even betrayal, even battle, every victory the heroes thought they had, Aizen was there first. He wasn't reacting to the heroes.
Kyoraku, you really are a piece of work.
The heroes were reacting to him on a timeline he set. Level 5 villains have transcended physical confrontation as a primary tool. Manipulation is the weapon. Reality itself is the weapon. Your trust, your emotions, your own strength, all redirected against you.
Senbone Sakura.
Fighting a level 5 feels like playing chess against someone who moved all your pieces while you were asleep. Level 6, the Destroyer.
You want to dance with me as well?
Level 6 villains are the ones that make entire fan bases question whether the protagonist deserved to win. Madara Uchiha, Ryomen Sukuna, pure, undiluted, overwhelming force. Madara didn't just fight the Alliance, he dismantled it, sat down, and waited for someone to actually try. His debut on the battlefield is one of the cleanest demonstrations of absolute power in the history of the medium.
Time doesn't really have much meaning for me.
7.
And Sukuna. Sukuna doesn't fight people. Sukuna edits them out of existence.
Obi that can fly.
What separates level 6 from everything below it? There is no clever plan that defeats them, no power of friendship, no hidden technique. They can only be beaten through something approaching a miracle, or a plot armor so thick you can see it from space. The writers know this. That's why these fights feel so tense, because on paper the hero has no business winning.
Can you swap with Sukuna?
Oh, yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
And yet, level 6 is still not the top, because level 7 is something different. Level 7 isn't about power. It isn't about intelligence or manipulation. It isn't even about evil in the traditional sense.
Dying is all you're good for.
Level 7 is a villain that represents something so fundamental that defeating them requires the story itself to intervene. These are the ones you don't fight. You survive. Muzan Kibutsuji, Yuhabaha, Kaguya Otsutsuki, Anos Voltigold, on the villain side of his arc.
Now then, if you were to destroy a god during judgment selection.
These aren't characters who want power. They are power. Their existence isn't a threat to the world. Their existence is the condition the world exists under.
Is a monster. Let the land of ancestors hunt her, and we will conquer them.
Muzan has existed for 1,000 years. He survived not through fighting, but through becoming impossible to reach. He scattered himself through a web of demons, erased the concept of his own name from history, and built a structure where killing him requires decades of preparation and the deaths of nearly everyone who tried.
Here we are. So this is the royal palace.
Yhwach absorbed the Soul King, the literal structural support of reality. The heroes weren't just fighting a person, they were fighting the collapse of existence.
To wage war?
No, to try to maintain the peace. Let's depart.
Yes, sir.
Kaguya appeared when the story had already been won, and reminded everyone that the scale was always wrong.
Kaguya.
Level 7 villains don't lose to strength. They lose to narrative, to sacrifice, to convergence, to the accumulated weight of every battle before. And honestly, that's the most elegant thing about them. They can only be defeated by the story itself deciding they should be.
How could Lord Tenji...
I must reach the Divine Tree.
7 levels, from the forgettable to the conceptual, from the embarrassing to the inevitable. Here's your question. Where does your favorite anime villain actually land? Not where the fandom puts them, where they actually belong. Drop it in the comments, and if I missed a level 7 candidate, I genuinely want to know who you think belongs there, because this list isn't finished. There are villains from newer anime that deserve their own breakdown, and that video is coming.